Wakonse, and that means to teach or to inspire, and we adopted that name for the program. Now, we have to have, as any organization would, a good foundation myth. And here is the foundation myth for Wakonse. It was a Sunday morning. Joe and Barb and Chuck and I were having cherry strudel. You have to get cherry strudel from Cherry Point. It's absolutely first-rate stuff. Don't miss it. We were having cherry strudel on the west end of Compton, reading the paper and having coffee, having a chat. And all of a sudden, at the far end across the lake, a bolt of lightning came down. The heavens parted. The Lake Michigan waters parted as well, and the bare bottom of the lake was revealed. And across that bare bottom came 4 golden chariots, each accompanied by 17 angels. In each of the chariots was one of the founders. They were wearing checkerboard robes. They had a box of wheat checks, corn checks, rice checks, or blank checks in their hands. And when they got to the other shore here on by Compton, together in great unison and terrible harmony, they said, "Go found Wakonse." And so we did. What more do you want? Isn't that great?
Is any origin story true? Yeah, there's some truth to it, yes. But there was a conversation on a porch somewhere where we said, we've been doing this for years with the kids, with the high school kids and so forth. We ought to try and do something for ourselves. And it'd be fun to bring faculty together to talk, as opposed to talking with or at students. Yeah, so some truth to that. But if you ask one person to tell a story, it'll be a little different from the way in which another tells it.
All right. Well, there is an alternative version. It's not quite as romantic, but the alternative version is this: that there was indeed a Sunday morning. Barb and Chuck and Joe and I were all on the porch, and Joe was the director of the leadership camps, the NLC, National Leadership Conference, we used to call it. And this, as Matt said, was for juniors and seniors in high school and freshmen and sophomores in college. And they were here for 2 weeks. And they did a lot of those 4 kinds of things that the foundation has always been about. And somebody, and each of us has claimed it was one of us, but I know it was me. It wasn't the rest of these people, for heaven's sake. But each said, look what we're doing for these students. Look what we're doing for these people and helping them to grow and develop and get ideas and all that. Why can't we do the same thing for faculty? Why can't we have professor camp? Why can't we get people to come up here and experience those 4 kinds of things and center it around teaching? That would be a great idea. Let's get faculty to do a big chunk of the things that we're doing for the students. And so we did.
Well, WU is, of course, one of my strengths, as you know. So the idea of having a gathering built around an interest in teaching and ideas that people have that are in the academy, that was exciting to me because I didn't get a lot of that from my department that I was identified with. And then after a year or so, just discovering the richness of people in other departments and on other campuses. For a WU, that was fun. And it still is fun, connecting with others and so forth.
How it all worked out, I think it must have been inspiration in some way, and certainly Joe's leadership, which is just spectacular. This all has come about, and 25 years later, we're sitting here. It's hard to believe, but that's really how it all worked out. So you are here out of a great tradition that starts with Mr. Danforth and John Alexander and then goes through camp and then comes into Wakonse, and now we're going on and doing the same thing. So it's really all about teaching. The conference has at least one basic philosophical method of operation, and it's this. We don't have any big speakers who come in. We don't give somebody $25,000 to read a canned speech and then get on a plane 2 minutes later and go home, which I think is one of the greatest ripoffs in all of American higher education. You've all seen that. But what we do is very simply rely on the synergy, the enthusiasm, and the ideas of all of you who are here. So you're all part of this faculty. You're all here to teach. You're all here to learn from one another. You're all here to be part of a community for teaching, and that's what Wakonse is all about. We don't bring any experts. We're the experts.
And what we, the opening thing, we always talk about what makes this, the place, but the people, the diverse group of people from other schools and so forth. That's what makes the community, overnight makes the community for you.